There's something about cars just calm me down.
Yeah, man. He's fucking weird now.
I just heard what you said. Oh my god. Super weird. He gets chopped up later on. Just fucking peppered. Peppered right in the
He gets turned into shrimp patties.
right in the front yard.
Johnny Tran.
Man.
Fucking poor guy. Dude, he fucking won, okay?
Too soon, Junior.
Oh my god.
The amount of fucking quotes from that movie that's still going on is ridiculous.
Oh, it'll never stop. Fast and Furious for everyone.
Yeah,
the first one. Yeah.
First, yeah. We're back. Episode 10, Spool'd Up Podcast. We have Cody back, part 2.
I'm back, baby.
I am back. What it do, baby?
We had, we were able to, time went flying by right away where it was like, holy crap, we need to stop this thing before it just keeps going on. So we had to bring him back on. We didn't even get to cover his car and got, I think, some more stories to tell, hopefully. So, but anyway.
How long was it?
Oh boy.
It was I think it was like an hour 50 something. I had to stop it there to give myself a break of
Editing.
everlasting
30 minutes
editing.
of editing.
Yeah, but anyway, Brett, how was your week?
It was pretty good. It was a pretty good week. No complaints. Took Friday off. Got some jobs finished.
Right on.
What about you, Brady?
Oh, I think it was good. Nothing really. Yeah, I think it was fine. I don't even know. I can't even remember. Work was crazy, but we're here. The weekend. The weather's nice. It's supposed to be like 70-something degrees tomorrow. 60 right now.
Might have to get the bike out.
It's beautiful. Oh, yeah.
Wild hogs.
There you go. Put the babes on the back of the bike.
I don't have a back seat.
Damn.
Puts him on his lap.
Yeah, there you
Or
go.
like he sits on their lap.
You're gonna have to.
yeah.
Yeah. Next thing we know, we're gonna see Brett's motorcycle on Facebook for trade. Something. Something. Put a babe on the back.
ISO,
That's all
ISO
it's gonna
sidecar.
say.
Trade for motorcycle with sidecar.
Jesse down there, how was your week?
Pretty average. It was windy AF last night.
Yeah.
It was pretty wild, but I got my fuel cell for the truck yesterday. So that's good news.
How big of a cell are you putting in there?
Went down to a 6-gallon cell, but it's got a 7-gallon per minute pump in it now.
Nice.
So
Nice.
one of those unintentional upgrades, but kind of wasn't even trade for the most part. Selling my old cell and getting the new one.
Right.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, normal. Per
Yeah.
usual. What about you, Cody? How was your week?
Living life, man. I'm still here. Just another day, another dollar.
High on life.
That's right.
You know the deal.
Every day.
That's a Texas size 10-4, good buddy.
Rubber duck.
Hell yeah. Well, I think one thing I wanted to get into, I guess we'll start with, first of all, dig or die this last week. And I believe I saw Street Racing Channel. They did decide to end up going. I know the truck had some issues.
Yeah.
It just seemed, the way it sounded, and from what they've said, I think it was, the tune-up was pretty fat in it. And it melted a boost line and, Jesus, shoved like 40 pounds through it or something, which that's you know, when that happens and, you know, at 40 pounds, your tune-up needs to be in a good window. It can't be too fat or lean. I mean, they're not you know, obviously lean, crazier things can happen, but, you know, so.
It didn't blow apart.
Yeah, no. So they got to pull the motor out and see what's going on with it. I don't know if that's what happened, but they just got to figure that out. It's just, you know, part of the thing. So new car.
Where'd they go testing at? They went testing.
It was a local track.
Yeah, local track. I think I know the first pass in the Falcon, they put like a 540 tune-up in it or something, and they were having some issues with it just kind of right off the bat. It was flinging the belt on it,
Alternator
and
belt, yeah.
and then a cam sensor I think went out, and they replaced that. And they've been having some issues with that front drive or the
pulley
belt
system,
system, accessory drive on that car. So I don't know what that's all about.
It's high RPM.
I don't know what I think. I know there's some like Motion sells those.
I have. Yeah, they just sell the bigger pulley for the alternator.
Yeah.
But that still shouldn't throw the belt.
Well, yeah, unless
But the bigger pulley will keep the alternator from revving super high.
Yeah, but I have no idea what
Because
what the hell.
LS alternators just don't like high RPM.
Yeah.
Probably a mandrel issue on the crank.
Something.
Wobbling or something.
Oh yeah, it's a new motor though. I mean,
Well,
not
Well,
new motor,
that
but
makes sense
refresh
why
motor.
it's throwing now and it wasn't throwing before
The
because
mandrel,
they just
the mandrel could be bent,
Yeah.
The bolts to the balancer.
yeah, it's something like that. But I don't know. Anyway. They ended up getting it to go down. It went down a pretty good pass, and then they decided because where they were going to go, the weather was not looking good, so they decided to go ahead and go to dig or die. And I think the Falcon got by the first round. He won first round, and then second round he raced.
The hustling horsepower.
Yeah, hustling horsepower.
The rat rod.
Yeah, the rat rod thing, and Tommy blew the tires off like midway.
drove the crap out of it.
Yeah,
too.
and just try to pedal it and get there.
I don't think he pedaled it. I think he tried to. Drive
I think he
through
just
it.
drove through it.
He tried to drive through it,
Yeah.
and he was like.
You could see
Yeah.
as soon as he started knocking the tire off, you could see a hustling just start.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he
Yeah.
lost
Mile
like
an
10
hour.
mile an hour.
Yeah.
Yep. So Tommy lost second round. Our boy Turbo John, we shouted out last time. He made it all the way to the finals, and he lost to Patches in the finals. So Patches took home the dub.
White fox body.
Yep. So
They were moving.
yep. Congratulations to those two.
Yeah, that track seems a little tricky too because there's a lot of pine trees.
It's a pretty coarse surface as
Yeah.
well. So
I know they were talking about all the pine needles are getting stuck because people are walking,
right.
which you would think they'd stop that shit. Mm-hmm. Hey, no walking across the fucking track.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. The payout was a lot less than I always remember. It's always like 100,000. I swear it seems like a lot of times, and it's
What was
it's
it, 20?
20.
That's still a
And
good payout.
it's
That's
still
a
good
lot
payout.
A lot of rounds though, 64
It is.
cars.
It is. So I'm sure the buy-in was just. I don't know if it was less than normal or there just not as many cars or.
I don't know. Was it the dig or die where they had the $100,000 and they didn't end up having the money?
Yeah.
Was that one of the dig or dies?
I think it was.
Yeah,
Maybe
that
that's
pissed a
why
lot
they
of guys
didn't
off.
do it again.
Yeah. You don't fuck with people's money.
No,
Yeah,
you do
it
not.
was
That's how
pretty-
you get killed.
It was pretty bad. It was pretty crazy. It's something
It'd
that.
been crazy to be there and be like, and still be in the race, or
Yeah.
win it and be like, "Where's my money, motherfucker?"
Yeah, it was one of those that was pretty wild. But Cody, I think one thing we didn't go over last time, we didn't even go over what your main, I think, would be considered your main vehicle. So what do you have now? Or what are you working on putting together?
So the car I've been putting together and driving for a while and racing is a 99 Z28 Camaro. She's had pretty much a little bit of a full facelift in a way. Like for the longest time, it was a 10-bolt 406C car, and that's what's so funny about it and what was so enjoyable about it was like taking it out. I'm not supposed to win. Let's just put it that way. And when I do, it's like, fuck yeah. And the next guy's like, oh man, good race. And he's like, well, what do you got in your car? And then I tell him like the stock shit, and they're like, you're bullshitting me. It's like, nah, dude. Like for a long time, we were ripping it on that. And hell, the 10-bolt held in for a long time.
Yeah.
Even with 410 gears. And she finally shit the bed. And it was one of those things where like, I fucking got stranded. Well, what was funny about it was at the time I had a buddy. I was still like in between dirt racing with a friend of mine, and had the car for a while and was drag racing and street racing and stuff like that. And I'm like, dude, fuck the dirt. Let's get you a street car. We'll drive it. It's way more enjoyable. You can take your girl out on a date. You can rip the streets. You can drive it to work. You don't have to bust your ass all week long to show up on a Friday night and hope that some retard don't wad your shit up for a couple $100, And so I took him out in the car, and I'm just making hits, and we hit a stop sign, and I look both ways. There's nothing. I let it rip. And, wow, good. Shit's just fucking clanking around. I'm like, oh, fuck.
Good old
He's
tempo.
like, oh, yeah, this is fun. Yeah, I could have a dirt car. I could help you push your piece of shit down the road. So we finally got it loaded up and home, and then we put a 12-bolt in it, and we did a lot of street racing with a 60.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, it was a certified transmission road ripper, 3,000, boy, and she was eating.
With a Yank 3600 small, I think.
36, 38, yeah.
Something
Had a
like
yank
that.
in it. It was,
A little bit of nitrous. It
was
lasted
crazy.
forever.
Actually, it didn't even blow up. Like,
Yeah, no, it didn't.
when I stopped fucking with racing a little bit, it didn't even blow up. I just decided, my buddy had that Bullet, and we were LS swapping it, and I had bought a parts truck. It was a 6.0 4L80, and I was like, man, I'll tell you what. I'll sell you the truck, but I'll give you the built trans for your stock 80 that's in this. Because, I mean, we didn't know anything about the truck. Like, it ran and drove, and it'd get up to mile an hour, but, like, it fucking no brakes, and it had a shimmy, just dumb shit. So, like, it was kind of going to be a guessing game. And so that's when I was kind of like, oh, I'll stop and not mess with my car. We'll help him get his going, and we'll put this 60 in there. And so she's still living a second life in that other car, but... Yeah, so then I took the 80 and I sent it off, and I had it more or less built. Still foot braking it. The car's got factory AC. It's got heat, everything. I mean, the washer fluid to fucking wipers. I mean, it's factory car.
Yep, stock interior, stock ECU.
Stock interior, stock ECU, back seats. I mean, it's all there. And, you know, I've kind of done it the other route first, where you kind of like gut the shit out of your car and you drop whatever motor you think is going to be the fastest, and you do like a 400 or whatever, and like that shit's fun, but like only when you're racing it. Like if you're like, oh, let's go to town, whatever, and you take the old lady, it's like you're getting fucking beat to death, and it's loud, and she don't want to be in that, and you're kind of like, this is kind of fucking annoying. No heat, no AC, nothing, you know. So I don't know.
And people always think he's leaking on the line because he's got his fucking AC on.
Yeah, I have a tendency to leave that on. Well, fucking hot summer nights, man. Oh yeah, we did a whole fucking did the burnout, and I'm backing up, and everyone's fucking panicking. Oh, he's fucking spilled something. He spilled something. Like, what the fuck? What? Like back up. Like I'm even out of the car, and I'm like, we're all like, what the fuck is that? Like it don't smell it. Hell, it don't taste. And like finally, I'm like, oh fuck, I'm a retard. I like reach in, turn off my AC. Like you could see the condenser was just fucking frosted over and wet, and I was like, oh, it's just fucking water, guys. Calm down. And fucking made a lick. Went after that. It was just funny. It's like, because you don't ever see that shit. Like if there's fluid, it's not because of something silly like that.
Yeah, it's like shut it off.
Yeah.
Push it back.
So, oh yeah, fucking. But yeah, it's just an LS car, a little bit of nano nitrous, and we're trying to push the stock ECU as far as we think we can take it, and see what it'll do. That car I want to leave whole. I just like that wholesomeness of it, so I'm gonna try really hard to keep it that way. If I was smart, I would change some things, but you know, I'd almost rather lose races and know that my car is like damn near factory compared to what I'm racing.
100% daily driver.
Yeah, something that you could turn the old lady loose and drive to work or whatever, or you know, send a nephew or something to prom, and you know, I like that aspect a little bit for that car.
Yeah.
So
Hell yeah.
Pretty cool. That's badass. So putting the 80 in there, was that kind of a chore to get done, or how bad was it putting an 80 in that?
It wasn't.
Camaro?
it wasn't so bad. So like Chad and
Autophase.
Travis,
Travis.
that's right.
They made that 80 swap video.
They made an 80 swap video because they had just done it not too long ago.
Which that was
and that
cut
kinda
dry.
was-
This is what you do. This is what you buy. When Cody,
This is what you
we did
do, what
exactly
you buy, where you cut,
Yep.
where you massage. I mean, and honestly, it wasn't even that bad as far as like cutting and massaging.
Shout out Travis, Autophase.
Yep.
I know he watches.
Yeah.
I was I was all up in
Good
his DMs, you know, like, hey dude, like What are you gonna do? I'm a retard. Like,
Well, we fucked up. We got it all done, and it wouldn't shift. It was in limp mode. The transmission was in limp mode, and we forgot that there's a special tuning table deal that you're supposed to put in the computer.
so I had ordered this. So you know your 60 plug to 80 plug. There's a conversion plug for that.
Yep.
And in the fucking paperwork, which I'm not good at reading, obviously, it says like tune it like a 60. This plug is supposed to do the rest. Well, we hooked it all up, and I'm like, oh, it's an 80. So we fucking start putting in 80 parameters, and it's like just fucking acting retarded.
Freaking out, yeah.
And then, I mean, we thought maybe like had a bad speed sensor, or maybe we fucking plugged something in wrong, or we like stretched the wiring or whatever. And we changed, and we got underneath it a couple different times. And then finally, like, we were sitting there tuning it or something. I don't even remember who asked, but they're like, did this thing like not come with any paperwork? I'm like, yeah, it's all at home in the toolbox drawer. So I go home and grab it, come back. I'm like, and we've been dicking with it like for a week.
Yeah, it was a pain.
Come back, and I was like, wow, here it says in the paper, tune it like a 60. Fucking less than 30 minutes later, I'm fucking making rips through neighborhoods at, you know, just tearing through gears and make sure they have them all. It's just like Fast and the Furious where the fucking hills are. I'm like, just fucking.
In the tune, what's really going on here?
Exactly.
So, are you like? Is the car done right now?
Kind of. So I ended up swapping the intake to a different intake that will help us out a little better. So I got that put on, and just user error. I made a couple silly mistakes, and I fucking broke the oil pressure sensor.
Oh, yeah,
I broke it putting it in, and we got a fucking line pinch and dumb shit.
Motherfucker to get.
Yeah, like since it's
still
all
got
factory,
factory
it's just
cab and
fucking
shit.
shit
Oh
crammed
yeah,
in the hole.
yeah. That's hard as
So
fuck.
really,
that's
you
the
really
worst
need
part
to
about
pull
those
the-
cars.
Yeah, it's dude.
10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag.
It was one of the reasons why I was like kind of shunned me away from my car more, like modifying more than it was, because it was such a. I would have.
I got to call him to come do anything to it because I can't reach back there.
Small hands.
Need some gopher
And
arms.
honestly, we're probably gonna have to pull the fucking intake back off to get to the damn pressure sensor.
What intakes on it?
Yeah,
The BT
it's a BTR
the
equalizer.
Oh, yep.
It's a
I
nice
like
intake.
yeah,
bottom,
I like it.
Bottom fed plenum. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it should be nice. I'm trying to figure out what to do about the like the cold air intake because those cars had them damn lids, and I had the like the K&N filter that was a big oval. But back when I had my red car, for instance, like don't quote me on it, but I want to say it was something dumb like 10 to 15. I wish it was 1500 horsepower difference when we changed out that lid for like an actual 4-inch like cold air intake tube style. It flowed so much better. So I'm trying to figure out how I could do it. I've seen like guys on like forums do like the fuse box tuck. You take that fuse box panel and you like tuck it down low, and I could maybe get enough tube over with an air cleaner to kind of like open that up.
Right.
Because I mean, hell, when it's on the lid, it's like this big. Then it comes choking down, and then it comes back up. And you know, I have a 102 throttle body, but I got this huge choking point with that intake, and
Yeah, those lids suck, and they never fit right.
oh, they never fucking fit.
I know it's a different motor combination, but my wife's got an LT1 Z28 car with an SLP cold air on it, and it's got the dual tubes that feed into one, and that goes like down next to the radiator behind the driver's side headlight is where the inlet is for that. I wonder if you could do something like that almost.
Yeah.
But it's
I
an
could
LS.
maybe.
It's an LS1 car.
Yeah.
LT. I don't know if that would be any difference there, but
Well, and like another part that kind of bites me in the ass is the radiator and all that's still factory.
Yeah.
So like when you stand them up, you get so much more room.
I did one. Yeah.
So-
for a guy.
It's
It's
one
inches.
of the I mean you could squeeze some shit in there, but it's kind of one of them things. It's like I'm battling that like, okay, when do you kind of cut the car up a little bit, and where do you keep what original? And I'm fighting that, and that's just kind of the issue right now. So
Yeah. How far do you want to take it?
yeah, because I mean, I have enough other shit to fucking build, and there's parts laying everywhere. Like, I could commit to something else. I could build a whole second Fbody because I've already done it once. Yeah, well, fucking Brett here, he was gonna get the smoke, but
Yeah.
he cooled down a little bit, so I
yeah.
backed off.
What?
We had he bought a black Fbody for like cheap as shit because someone buddies of ours bought this car. It was turboed, complete driving car, but they cut the fucking. So you know where my front half is, the Fbody front half, that frame you cut
frame
off.
rail.
Well,
So
they
you
cut
know-
a chunk out of it to put the turbo there.
And it wasn't our buddies. So that
He bought the car. My buddy's bought the
They're
car.
Fbody guys, and after dealing, it was kind of like that sour taste in the mouth, and I feel bad. But he sends me this car. He's like, dude, turboed Fbody. It's like 5.3, and it like had like a time slip and shit like that. I'm like, oh, that's not bad for that price. We're talking about like a Facebook picture and like, you know, a little bit of data.
Yeah, not a whole lot.
He
to
ends
go
up
off
buying
of.
this thing and gets it home, and he's like showing it to me and stuff like that. And I come over and I'm like, holy shit. He's like, what? I'm like, they cut your frame rail out.
Yeah.
That means the core support and everything is hanging off by the other frame rail. You don't need that. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, it
dude,
is
like
bad.
they didn't like tube it back or nothing. No, I'm good. Tube it back or nothing like that. So it was one of those things. It's like, yeah, it was a bad deal. So they end up finding a Fox body. They pull all the shit out of it. They drop it in that, and he's like, hey, dude, you fucking want this thing? Come get it. I'm like, sure, fuck it, I'll come get it. So brought it home. Me and him, we cut the rest of it off. He had just got the front end kit for his. So, you know, we're doing the fucking redneck thing. We're pulling tape measures, and we got a Harbor Freight bender, and we're just eyeballing it. And it turned out pretty fucking clean.
Yeah,
But,
the Harbor Freight bender, you have to.
It gets to a point where instead of like making the contour in the pipe, it wants to like fucking kink it.
Yeah.
So you gotta
be
put like
real-
it's
not
like
real
1 inch
manual.
marks
Yeah.
on your radius, and you gotta like bend your whole radius. So you do like 20 bends on your radius of your 90 to get it to not kink.
Yeah.
And we did it. Yeah, we front halved it, and I think me and him did a 6-point in it, but then he had someone else help him do they put an 850 in it.
Yeah, to finish it up. And then
he sold it.
yeah, I had gotten the VFN doors, which is what he has now, and was doing that kind of stuff. And then you know, I just get in spurts where I fucking just want to get rid of stuff and tired of looking at it. And we were fucking with other stuff, so I more or less took the doors off, put my factory doors on, sold the car to a friend, and then he's got the doors and stuff now. Now we're back at it, but we just got them kind of fitting up pretty decent. A lot better.
No,
Got
the doors
one of
are
windows in.
fine. The windows are just so like those VFN doors, the lip where the Lexan window mounts. So you know F bodies are kind of angled a little bit. Well, the doors aren't on the right angle, so the window wants to pull back away from the window seal. So we're just kind of
It's like a teeter totter. If you tighten
Yeah.
the bolts at the bottom too much, you start pulling it away from the car. If you let them loose and you tighten up against the rails, those metal rails you got to put in, it sucks it in a little nicer. So it's like we're trying to find that happy medium and not, you know, destroy the fiberglass because you got one shot with it, you know.
Yeah.
So
Do not miss your chance to blow.
no. And I
Oh
had
my god!
I had my
Who's the
hand-
real Eminem over there?
I had to.
mom spaghetti.
Yeah, and I drilled some holes before Cody got a hold of it. So
Yeah, he's a bit of a squirrel. Should be squirrel racing is what his
Yeah,
little team should be, but
you'll have that on them big jobs.
Team Squirrel.
yeah,
it's like,
good
dude,
stuff.
just hold on. It'll be fine. Next
Sitting
thing you
there.
know, got half the fucking car cut apart, motor's back out of it. Son of a bitch.
Motor- no.
It's been one day,
Motor's
dude.
still in
Like,
Captain Wholesaw.
Motor's still
over
in
here.
it.
So have you got a spray yet with the 4L80 or not yet?
not yet.
Not yet. You excited or scared?
Oh no, I'm excited.
He's gonna floor it for Dale.
We're worried it's gonna
All
be
day.
slower.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about the weight and just being a little slower, but no, like that's the thing, man. Like, you know, don't get me wrong. You can obviously make a lot of power on turbos, and there's different aspects that are nice about that. But this is gonna kind of sound like, I don't know, like maybe 2008, 2010ish of me is like, you can hit, like, I feel like you can hit out of the hole a lot harder. Now, don't get me wrong, you can with a turbo. but depending on who built it, et cetera, yada, yada, yada.
Oh, you're yeah.
But like, I've always felt more confident with Nitrous because it's like, it's out of the whole thing. And it's not even necessarily like it hits so much harder or anything like that. It's like, I just feel more confident knowing that I've got it all right now out of the hole. And if my setup is good and I'm out on I don't have to 60 foot you. I just got to get out on you enough to make you, it's that, it's like that, I don't know what that instinct's called, where you're put in a predicament and it's like, you got to think now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, there's so many guys that, you know, if you get out on them just a little bit, in the first little bit, they're like panicking. Whatever they do, you know, whether they floor it and they normally don't, or they're, you know, holding on to something a little longer, or the scramble button.
We just need 2 kits. You just need to have 2 kits.
That was my whole problem.
That was my problem, is I'd have 250 off the line, and then you're just out there floating, and here comes a turbo guy. Just shoot.
2 kids
I
for
have
Sister
no extra
Sarah.
mile an hour.
Yeah.
So if you had that scramble button, you have another 150 on a scramble. You just hit that button when you see him coming.
Or whatever the case is, or you know how far out you are, you can grab a second kit, you know. And I mean, look at Kendall. I mean,
Yeah, motherfucking flies.
Power wheeling, bringing in the power and everything, like that car is legit, and it's
Mile
all
an hour is
nitrous.
ridiculous.
Yeah, it's mile an hour like crazy. But yeah, it'll be exciting. I'll be excited for it for sure.
The problem with nitrous is you just, once you get into spraying 600, you got to have a lot of money in your motor.
That and you gotta have multiple bottles and a
Multiple
that's what I
bottles,
just didn't like
checking
about it,
your
is filling
plugs. I
fucking
mean,
bottles all the time.
that's kind of one of the things that does suck about my car being so stock. It's like, to check the passenger side back plug, we got to jack it up.
more than you can afford, pal.
Yeah, Ferrari.
Ferrari.
Yes.
Smoke him.
Oh, Jesus Christ. There he is.
There it is.
Smoke 'em.
You're going to have to put that in the video.
We'll get it.
Fucking Fast and Furious.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
Yeah. Good old nitrous.
Yeah. There's temptation. I'd like to play with nitrous on something.
You know, it's
all,
crazy.
yeah, it's all about distribution.
You don't want none of this, Dewey. You don't want none of this, Dewey.
Is it going to give me a hangover?
It's not addictive.
Well, it's not going to make me want to have sex, is it? Like,
It's going to make you want to fuck.
it's going to make it better.
What's
Like,
that
I
movie
think
called?
I kind of want it.
Dewey Cox. What's
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Is it called Dewey Cox?
Yeah. I don't remember the rest of it. It's fucking funny.
Oh, man, it's just... Yeah, it's tempting for sure on certain things. Like, I mean, when we first got to running around in it, we had a buddy had a big block C10, and they put nitrous on it. Hell, we went to high school with them, and they had a small block Nova with nitrous, and they're old school, man. It's like, what jet? You know, they fucking just grab a button and let it eat. And hell, I remember being down in his car long ago, and we were on some strip, and we caught him at a red light. He's fucking sitting there stalling. This truck looks like it's about to fucking fall apart. Light turns green, and it fucking Fast and the Furious. It felt like it pulled the tires, and we're like, "Holy shit!" You know, like. And he fucking, well, what were you spraying on? I don't fucking know. Bottles hooked up, and we let it eat. Like, it fucking ran so good, and I don't know. It's just shit like that was always like that street light racing type shit. Because you know we did a lot of that early on, so like it was so much fun with nitrous. Because you know, fuck, you don't have 600 foot to the next light. You just got the little bit you got to just make somebody shit their pants. But
That's one thing I wish I would have done with the truck before I took it apart. When it still had the 355 in it, my dad and I were talking about spraying it with like a 250.
Yeah,
it was all cast bottom in. It's like, just spray the house down, send
what
it, you know, see what happens.
yeah,
It's like, man, I bet you it would have went 1290s then. That would have been fun as fuck.
dude.
That was the best times. Just, fuck, we'd go to 5 different spots every night.
Oh, boy.
I'd show up, and there'd be some guy wanting to call me out.
He had quite the little reputation there for a minute. At least, like, you know, on like your lower end, like bolt-on style cars.
Yeah,
but it was kind of like that silly thing. It was like, well, have you beat Brett? Like, you know, it's like
The gatekeeper.
yeah, like
Pretty
gatekeeping
much.
in a weird way.
I was on the top 10
It's the
list.
600 horsepower and down cars are always the
Toby
most
had that
fun.
top 10
Oh
list.
yeah, I mean, and
Hands
that's
down, man.
I'm in that ballpark for sure, and it's like, and that's what's great about it too. It's like,
You race so many people.
Well,
anybody.
shit, we did Streeters top 10 list when Toby was still around.
When Toby was still around, we did
fuck,
do that.
we were racing Thursday night, Wednesday night,
Oh, shit,
Friday
man.
night, Saturday night. Cody did pretty well. He ended up they had a cash day, and depending on how you did in the cash days, that's what put you on the list. So Cody ended up being like number 2 or some crap, or number 3, because we raced all
Luck,
of it.
baby.
Cops kept breaking it up. It was like 8 in the morning. We're doing the final race. Cody fucking jumps.
Yeah, I was fucking.
Well, because foot brake, he didn't really jump. He just pushed through his front brake.
My first street race, I thought it was this shit right here.
Right.
Like, for real.
Isn't that a legit thing though? Race wars.
I don't know. Couple of spoon
I mean,
engines
they
run
call
premium.
shit. They call it that. They have one anyways that's called that.
Couple of Gen 453s run a premium run week.
Yeah, I used to not have a roll bar either, so my car left like. Meow.
The old fucking.
I didn't have
chassis
sway
thing.
bar, nothing in the back.
I've driven cars like that. My Fbody was like that. I put a brand new set of like radials on the back, and I'm like, man, I love these things. Let me go test them out and see if it'll hook now and stuff. So I took it out and get the dip hole, and I got it, and all of a sudden I hear clunk, 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 clunk. I'm like, what is that? And I get out, and it fucking just slashed that whole right side of the tire. That inner fender wheel just completely ate the tire, and I was like, oh, I was like 16. I spent like saved up like 2 paychecks getting some nice Mickey Tom, because I mean you only. Maybe it was just one paycheck. I don't know. You work your ass off, get paid like $300 back then. When you're 16 years old, and those tires are fucking expensive. So yeah, I probably was a couple paychecks to afford that.
Yeah, we did a little penny days one time, and fucking because my car's always been like a street car. We all literally loaded up in this fucking thing. Well, you don't realize like drag racing. Shocks and springs, like all that isn't meant for having 4 grown-ass dudes in the back of this thing. So we're driving along, and the fucking road's like, and finally fucking it hits, and it fucking, like you said, just beating the shit out of your car. And you're like, what the fuck is that? We finally get there. I got this nasty fucking gouge cut out of my tire. We still got a fucking race. I'm like, God damn it.
It didn't lose air, though.
It didn't lose air.
Took a chunk out of
Raced
the
all night long, came home, fucking
it's sketchy, but I drove on that tire because I just couldn't afford to buy another one. So I drove on that bitch, and I was like, oh, it's fine. That thing was so slow anyways, it didn't matter.
It's
so
back in the football days. You deflate a football, stick it in the coil spring, then
Oh,
back up.
yeah, I remember guys doing that.
Got your sweet drag fucking bags.
I'm about to do that on this thing. I'm joking.
Little mini basketball.
Yeah. Oh, here we
Just
go.
get you some air ride, boy. Flipping switches.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Flipping the switches.
It is a Beamer. Fancy.
Hey, where's your camera at, dog? Shouldn't the front be like all fucking towed?
Oh,
in
it's
and shit?
there.
No, it's in the rear.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That fucking tire.
Brad goes, holy shit.
Well, that's just because it's hanging.
That shit's touching, boy.
That's 28.
It's
I lifted.
yeah.
There's the old radials off my truck.
Yeah, except that side is touching. That side is hit.
So close.
It is. I don't know why.
Well,
Too soon, Junior.
The one side is just closer than the other. I have no idea. It's probably just twisting itself to death. I've checked all the weak points though, and everything looks good underneath it, so it's not tearing itself up. So I don't know. I think the Paraglide saves it a lot from not being so violent.
I think that's the only reason why that
Rear
rear
end's
is
alive.
not checked, like left the chat. yet.
That's and that was kind of I was thinking that the whole time too. I was like, man, I think with the Paraglide, and I think I can leave soft enough to where and put a bias ply tire on it, and I think it'll stay for a while because it's
put a
it's got
27-inch
pretty
slip on it.
thick ass axles in it, and the diffs are supposed to be pretty strong. They got a size wise, they're pretty similar to an 8.8. They're not much smaller.
Just got to make sure that all the axle bolts are in it.
No shit. They're loosening up, man. I'm telling you.
All the red Loctite.
Yeah.
And the Ugga Duggas.
Yeah. No shit.
Know all about that.
Yeah. When I started taking this thing apart, I was like, my manifold bolts were like, there was the back one. I was just like, oh, it was like not even tight.
I don't remember
was like,
putting studs on this fucking car.
I couldn't believe that it didn't have a header leak or anything with it. being that loose back there, but
There's nowhere for your fucking headers to go. They're crammed in there with the motor.
Yeah.
it's pretty tight.
They're
It's
in
actually really easy to work on, though.
They're in there like
surprisingly.
swimwear for sure.
Yeah, it's tight.
Yeah, Cody had a fucking torque arm bolt fall off.
That makes sense.
We couldn't figure out why it was fucking wheel hopping.
Well, so it was a whole fucking story thing. So like I said, we were doing all that racing back to back nonstop, and one of the spots we go to, and we were having problems with burnouts. Like all of a sudden the car would do a burnout, and the next time it'd almost be like one fucking tire would hook and it'd fucking send me to the side real quick. Like what the fuck was that? It was just doing weird things and sporadically, and we're like kind of checking suspension, but we didn't think about the torque arm, I guess, because it just is what it is. But we showed up one night to race, and I shit you not, you walk the fucking road, see what it's like, and we're walking the road and we're bullshitting, and my foot and you hear ting, titty, ting, ting, and I was like, that sounded like a fucking bolt. So we were all like, we're fucking walking down, and I pick up this fucking bolt, and I'm like, dude, some fucking retard lost a bolt on his car down here. Right, so we fucking get back to the car, and like, we're walking a little bit, and I'm kind of thinking, I'm like,
I feel like I've seen this before.
man, this is looking real fucking familiar. So then, sure as shit, like, we used to carry around a little jack in his truck and stuff like that. Jacked it up. I'm missing a bolt. One's on its way fucking out, and the other one is just holding on for dear life. And I'm like, oh, fuck. So we fucking throw it in, fixed all our problems. I was like, this is the dumbest fucking thing in the world.
And the tire was getting closer to the fender. Too,
Well,
because of this, because it was
Yeah.
kind of like
It's letting
cockeyed.
that axle just
So we
do
were
whatever it
adjusting the
wants back
fucking
there.
lower control arms. Like, what the fuck's going on? We have never had this problem.
Trying to chase a problem that we didn't have.
In gravel, fucking, I'm underneath it with a crescent.
Yeah. But
And he beat a fucking 1,300 horse Corvette, and the guy was so mad. In this little
mad?
600 horse Camaro.
Hey,
well, that was probably one of the most like street
I was sprinting down the 8th
races.
mile.
Like, you normally go to the typical spots, and
No, this was just some
people have
fucking
been putting
random-ass
fucking,
road.
Oh, yeah,
they're
rubber down
prepped
shit.
down, and they've been running their runs, and we were doing this Cash a Days deal, and sure as shit, like, I'm like, oh man, I know that guy, I could probably get him, I could probably, weasel my way around that, and it's like fucking draw it, and I'm like, oh fuck, this guy, like the guy that would have won it all, and yeah, we were like out on this really nice spot, and
We were on a good road. And
I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna get my shit shoved in, and we ended up having to move because of cops, and then we got to another spot, and then we're sitting around like hanging out, and then finally they get this bright idea, like, we're underneath this fucking bridge in KC, and they're like, we're just gonna fucking bring a pair up, send your guys down this fucking road real quick. I'm like, okay, there's like, it's like road, like we're waiting for like traffic to kind of like
Die
mellow
out.
out a little bit.
Bear Road. No one's made a pass on this.
Sure as shit, like it is probably the fastest I've ever had to like pull up, do a burnout, get your fucking shit lined up, and then hit it. And yeah, that's exactly what happened. Fucking, we get all pulled up, fucking get us set. He bangs the light. I'm fucking gone. I'm like, oh, fuck, like running through the cone. I'm like punching my fucking horn, like, I'm like, fuck yeah, I can't believe I just fucking pulled this out of my ass.
He
'cause-
fucking went off in the side, and they had all that rock, and that Corvette just went skirt. And Cody's.
I just had to hold him out. He was that car made so much more power than me, and I did. I raced him a second time, and yeah, he spanked my little ass.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just crazy because that's the beauty of it, is it does not matter the horsepower gap ratio or what you're making or what he's making. That's the thing about street racing. It's like any given road, any given night, you can pull off a win.
Me and him fucking raced down in Bonner at the caves, and I was on a 250 shot. He wasn't on shit. He beat me. Because mine was all 250 on a line on chip and seal.
Driving,
and
baby.
Driving.
Skirting.
Well, I couldn't get any power down because I hit the fucking nitrous and it just goes sideways.
And that was great about one of those spots we used to do when we did those penny days. It was like
That spot was trash.
Oh,
it was horrible.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
don't get me wrong.
terrible.
It wasn't like it was like, oh, this is a good fucking prep. But if you were smart enough, you can win. And like the Mustang, yeah. He had all sorts of traction controls and parameters and stuff like that set up that like he didn't have to put all his power down. He just had to make sure it got a certain amount of power. It could pull it in the rest. And then our boy Dustin, he's fucking
Yeah, it doesn't.
Van Tile, he was wild, man. He just let it eat. And
No roll cage.
that was the final race. The last time we raced down there, that was the final race.
Todd
Him
Leary.
versus Todd Leary. And Todd's car was dialed in, dead nuts. Like, he's very efficient.
That car always
and
went
Van
down.
Tile
Always
two
official.
gears.
Yeah, they got Van Tile, like,
gears.
two
He's still
gears,
running
fucking
a
letting shit
470.
eat, like, not fucking letting out. And they both made hell of a lick. And I think Todd did win
won,
it.
yeah,
but yeah, I mean, Dustin was
They're
right
both
there
like
at his door.
you could tell the Holly's just pulling power. Traction controls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was sweet. It was.
We actually test on that road quite a bit, actually. If you blow it off and do a good burnout, like I'll hook.
Yeah.
But where we did the race was way back in the caves.
Kind of back in the old spot.
If you got out of the groove at all,
But it's kind of one of those things. It's like that's one thing we've always kind of stuck with. It's like find the shitty surface.
Yeah.
I mean, so like when we were first putting the nitrous on my fucking car, we were down in this one spot and it's like a fucking farm field on one side, and I shit you not, it's just like a rough ass asphalt paved road, and we were messing with stuff, and it was doing pretty decent on like the main road, and we're like, well, we need to maybe find a shitty spot to see what this does. And I like look over and I seen that. And I mean, there's fucking hay grass all on the side. I look at them, I'm like, hey, you want to fucking make a lick down this thing, see what it does? I'm like fucking down a hay wagon road, like, fucking trying to see what it does. But yeah, I mean, it really just kind of, I mean, testing obviously is a big thing, but just figuring out your car the best you can, you know. Don't put yourself next to somebody if you don't know your car in and out.
Well, that, and if you look at a road, you don't have to race there if you don't feel comfortable. That's another
Yeah,
big
and
thing.
that is true too. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if they show up and you're out there on fucking gravel in the boondocks, it's like, okay, like, you know,
Yeah,
I get it for sure.
What the hell are we doing here?
If
Right.
it's misting or some shit.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've been sent down when it was raining one time. That was crazy. I mean, it just started raining on the windshield, and it's like you don't know if they're gonna call it off or they're gonna step back, and all of a sudden he steps back, bangs the light, and you're like,
Fuck it.
Jesus, take the wheel. Fucking letting it eat.
Sawing. Sawing the wheel, yeah.
So it's something, but it is what it is.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Bring that dub home.
Hey man, very fortunate. I've won more than a handful that I shouldn't have.
Yep.
And that's the most exciting thing about it too. Is like, I mean, we've won a little bit of money. We've beat some cars that we shouldn't have beat. You know,
Oh, yeah.
it's been interesting. And that was the thing too. Like when they kind of did the streetcar list thing, like he said, you know, like we finished towards the top of the list at the beginning, and then, you know, obviously as cars had figured out what they
Progressed.
needed to do and progress and stuff like that, they would, you know, surpass us, and it is what it is. But, you know, we were just, it was, yeah, like he said, it was
there's
like
no money,
Wednesday,
it's all
Thursday,
racing.
Sunday. You're just trying to hold out fucking spots until guy figures out, you know, all right, figured out my shit.
Yeah,
now I'm going to sail around.
The one bad thing about that list shit is it seemed like there'd be one dude that would race 5 times and then no one else would race. And the first couple guys wouldn't race. Two would call one out and then they'd race and that's it. They're done for the night.
Well, yeah, and that
Because some of the guys are more worried about holding their spot than actually just racing.
Well,
Yeah.
you're racing so often, too. It's hard to make sure
It was like the
Right.
5 spot to 10 spot. Those guys would race the most.
Yeah.
well, I mean, like, you know, like Brian Leary, like good guy, I've raced with him forever. I cannot tell you how many times me and him
Oh, you
raced
guys
each other
fucking-
back and forth because it was spot stuff. Because like, if one guy would win this one and then this guy wouldn't call out that guy because, you know, it's like a fucking pride thing. We're just like looking at each other like, hey, I guess we fucking just beat the shit out of our cars against each other.
Yeah, because like
So,
Brian would call Cody out, and then Cody would beat Brian, and then Brian had to race down, so he races down, and then Brian wins, and then Brian calls Cody out again, and it was
Yeah, just like that, that back and forth. Like nobody's trying to go up, nobody's trying to go down, so we're just kind of beating our heads against each other. But
yeah, he was having issues with that. He was still running a 4R70.
yeah, but I mean, it was just cool to get out and get with guys like that. It's kind of one of those things too. Like I understand like doing it for the numbers and like a little bit of that, like, I don't know, like street outlaw feel. But at the same time, it's like, if I'm going to be spending money on it too, what's another $50 to go, hey bro, $50, you want to run it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, you're running a spot anyways, and it's for a title in a way, but it's like, let's put a little money on it.
You're
Like,
burning gas up, tires up.
fuck, we were filling
Nitrous.
bottles like
Yeah.
2-3 times a week. You know, fuel. We're dragging fuel around with us, and it's like the only thing we were getting out of it was like a name,
Bragging rights.
bragging rights.
Yeah, that was it. It was wild though. I mean, it was fun. It was fun as shit.
Oh, yeah, you're going to have fun doing it, but there's a certain point where it's like you got to draw a line in the sand and be like, I got to get something out of this besides just rights, you know?
Yeah, buddy Garrett, he's got that Nova. He was in it.
Oh shit,
Yeah,
man.
he blew up his differential, and then like him and his buddy went and made like 150 mile an hour pull on the highway, and then he's like, I don't think I tightened the lug nuts.
Sick.
And they got out and sure as fuck.
Oh man, I've had so much fun. So like when I met Garrett was actually through all that, and at the time I know Garrett knew a few people. I don't know who all he knew per se. In like the racing community / group, and somehow we fucking get lost from like the pack. And it was like some fucking Three Stooges that shit. Because, like, I took off on this exit because I thought I was reading my phone right. My buddy's trying to help me, but he doesn't know where he's going. I'm trying to drive at the same time. And he's got his boy with him. And we go off on this exit, and we fucking make a right. And it's like GPS tells us to go back that other way. So now we're doing, like, U-turns in the middle of this, like, 2-lane thing, coming back this way. Then it says go right, and it ends up being a dead end. And we come down. And after doing, like, back and forth, I pull up to the stop sign, and like it's one of those. It's like a yield, but you go this way a little bit. And like as I'm pulling up to stop, I looked over, and sure as shit, there's a fucking KCK cop sitting there, or Mo cop, whoever. But he's sitting there, and I'm like, how much of this shit did he just watch? Because I mean, you're talking about 2 cars like fucking, fucking on tires. You know, fucking shouldn't probably be on the street, just fucking loping around this intersection trying to figure out how to fucking get out. It's just kind of one of those things, like looking at him, he's looking at us, and we're like, keep on going.
Yeah, I had a fucking heart attack.
Oh shit!
Thought he was having a seizure there for a minute.
I think I bit my tongue. You're gonna have to put a wallet in my mouth.
Oh, fuck.
Fuck. I felt that.
I hear it.
Yeah, been one of those.
Yeah, we do have a story.
We gotta hear that.
We went to, it was like a Thursday, and Toby hit me up, and there was this fucking race in Omaha.
Sure you want to tell us? No,
I mean, yeah, I got my shit pushed.
no, it's all good.
But we go to fucking Omaha on a whim for a race, and we get there, and I think Van Tile went, Ryan Mitchell was there, Beater Bomb, Sketchy Vert.
That might have been like,
I think Van Tile was there. Who else? Mike Jones was there.
Who?
Mike Jones.
He hasn't been out.
Every time.
I know.
But I ended up racing fuck. What,
it was an Eagle Talon.
yeah, and all-wheel drive Eagle Talon.
Oh boy.
Them things fuck.
1G or 2G?
I don't know. It had it all. It had all the G's.
Well, I meant.
Well, I think I was first pair, and what happened was when I launched, I launched hard as fuck, but my nitrous panel came off my dash and unplugged the nitrous switch. So it was just like, whoa. And then he, I was like, motherfucker. So I lost, whatever, and on to the next. But what happened was, so Ryan Mitchell beat Beater Bomb, and then Ryan Mitchell got a flat tire. So he couldn't race.
That's when he was running big tires.
Yeah. This was run, big
it was
tire.
kind of a wild ass scenario because it's like Ryan ends up winning, and then he gets a flat tire. So then he's trying to hurry up and fix his deal. I don't think he did.
No, he didn't fix it.
And then
he pulls out of the race.
There's that. I want to say it's a big block Nitrous Chevelle.
He's still around, yeah.
Yeah, he's still around, but he that was a fucking. It was a runner.
Well, he was racing Van Tile and his throttle cable broke.
Yeah,
throttle cable broke and Dustin won. So his throttle cable broke on the line and he didn't go anywhere.
Double turds.
So
it was just like weird.
It ended
shit
up being
was happening in cars.
Mike Jones and Dustin in the final.
Who?
My dome.
But Dustin ends up winning the whole thing. But anyway, Dustin wins the whole thing. It was like $2,000, I think, something like that. Which is funny that he ends up winning it because, you have Ryan Mitchell in it. You have Beater Bomb. It's like, how in the
it was
fuck?
one of those things like the cars that we were taking, we're just like, fuck it. We're going to pay to play.
It's not that
We're
far.
going to see some good racing.
Oh,
and
yeah.
shit like
3 hours.
that. Hell, we even kind of got done early.
It was like 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, we showed up, we raced, they got shit done, and we were in and out. Like, it was good racing.
Hell
and,
yeah. That's a good day.
So it's like, like 10 or 11. We finally...
Well, no, I called the Eagle Town.
Yeah.
$100.
This is before the end of the night, but yeah.
So we grudge race again, and he ends up beating me because I blew up my 4L60. And
so...
Hold on. Wait, what?
60 shit the bed.
smoke everywhere.
So it was just so this is how it happens: is he races him, and it's kind of like I don't know shit about him, obviously, but he races him in the first pass, and
Every time.
the car went like I think one more round, maybe two, but
He ended up racing Ryan, I think, or something.
it wasn't like holy shit, this thing is fucking moving. It was kind of like, oh fuck, like I've seen what your car can do. I've seen a couple races out of him, bro. Go bet this motherfucker $100. I bet you win. And that's what I told him. I said, hey, go bet him $100. We'll run him. See, you probably get your $100. That's what I was thinking. And yeah, sure as shit. It's a fucking next thing that happens. The car's like, fucking on its face again. It's like
neutral.
I'm glad we can keep doing the same fucking shit when we show up. But
7 neutrals.
yeah, so
the funny story is Cody, I didn't have any cash. I took $100 bill out of Cody's wallet.
Out of my wallet and goes and pays the guy.
And then we go to dinner.
We
go to dinner
Dustin
with Dustin
won.
and him, so he took us to dinner.
So he took us all to dinner. He's like, "Fuck it, we weren't supposed to win this shit. Let's go eat."
Yeah.
So we go eat, we go drink, and then sure as shit, like we're hopping out of the truck, and I think we even got it inside. Maybe not yet.
I think we're walking in.
We're walking in,
and you're going through your wallet.
I'm going through my wallet because I noticed a bill.
And he just starts fucking laughing.
Well, I got
starts fucking laughing. I'm like, what the fuck is so funny?
When you show up to shit like that, like. You've seen the guys that throwing fucking money around.
Oh, yeah.
You take a little money with you to bet. Well, my thing was like, being that I buy and sell so much shit, when I'm carrying around cash back then anyways, I used to fucking put money in my billfold that wasn't necessarily up to code.
The motherfucker loses his wallet more than anyone. He will lose his keys, his wallet, his phone.
Everything.
So, yeah, he puts...
Anyways,
some sketchy money in there.
We're walking in
Money
there.
up to code.
We're walking in there, and I'm looking through my wallet because I seen the money, like the bill. I'm like, oh fuck, somebody like pop in the truck real quick and pull some money out of my wallet or something. Like besides him, and I'm like counting my money, and I'm like, why the fuck is all my money here? Like I should be $100 short. And I started laughing in the parking lot. I was like, dude, I fucking think you gave that dude a fake $100 bill. And he's like, what? He's like,
no idea.
Yeah. I was like, he's like, well, I didn't know. I was like, obviously it looked good enough because you grabbed one and he fucking took it from you too. So we're fucking eating and we're laughing about it and shit like that.
Hilarious.
And then it was like the next fucking day. It was early in the morning.
Yeah, he hit me up on Facebook and he
Hey,
was
motherfucker.
pissed.
Like, he's all bent out of whack.
I don't know if he went to a gas station and spent the money and got in trouble or...
I can't, yeah, I mean...
I don't know, but moral of the story is the guy hit Toby up, and then Toby hit me up, and then I messaged the guy. I ended up paying him $100 on PayPal or whatever. But
well, I mean, it's the right thing to do, but it was just ironic.
That's why I was like,
that
I had a fucking idea.
I can't imagine this motherfucker like, man, we just took $100 from this fucking retard. We go to the fucking gas station, and all of a sudden the clerk's like, hold on one second.
You're a retard.
Fucking cops show up. I was just trying to get a can of Coke, man.
yeah. Hilarious. Good times.
I'm trying to break this bill, dog.
So then after all that shit, we eat, we laugh, have some drinks, and we're driving home. So we're driving home. Fuck, we're like 30 minutes.
That was this night.
Yeah, we're 30 minutes down the road. Boom, blow a tire out of my dad's trailer.
Son of a
Mind
bitch.
you, my dad had car tires on this fucking trailer.
That'll get you every time.
That'll get you. So we blew the tire out. So we blew the front left. So we ended up pulling the front No,
we pulled the whole wheel.
Yeah, we blew the back right, and we ended up putting the front left on the back to kind of balance it out.
Yeah.
So we drove all the way the fuck home with 3 tires. And the whole time the trailer's just fucking bouncing.
Oh, that's sketchy.
We made it home, but then, so on the way, so that happens.
Yeah.
And Vantal pulls over with us, gives us a compressor. We air up the tires and shit. We put a little more air in the tires.
Yeah, because we were kind of like following each other.
He was in his work truck,
and
so he had a compressor.
One of those things at the time, like I did a lot more driving than him, so he was just chilling.
I was laying down in the back seat, passing the fuck out.
So like I said, it was like 10, 11 o'clock when we got done. So we're like, fuck it, we're gonna go eat. We're gonna head home. We're gonna be home on a decent time. Nope, went 8. By the time we get out of there, we had the tire blowout. So then we're rolling on through, and I think he's laying in the back, and my phone might have been dead or something dumb.
I had like 8 missed calls from Vantal.
Oh, we're pulling through this. Well, we're pulling through this little bitty ass town, and I shit you not, I like look over and I see the gas station. I look at my shit. I'm like, we can make it to the next one. We go on through. Well, I didn't think about it. We get a little bit outside of that town, and I'd seen headlight. The only pair of headlights were them behind us, following. And finally, I'm driving along. He's asleep in the back, and I kind of like glance in the mirror, see if they're out. And I'm like, oh shit, where the fuck?
There's no headlights.
So then I'm like reaching back. I'm like, hey, wake up. He wakes up. I was like, hey, check your phone. He's like, oh shit. He's got like fucking 8, 10 missed calls.
Like 8 voicemails from Vantal, and everyone's like, hey, man, we ran out of gas. And then no one, hey, motherfucker, we ran out of gas.
Yeah.
Hey, you piece of shit.
Yeah. We're on the side of the fucking road.
Answer your fucking phone.
Like, yeah, it was just hilarious. So we pull around, and I guess when we got to that town, they kind of thought the same thing too, because like Dustin's work truck.
Roger was driving, and Dustin didn't tell Roger that, hey, if we get to 8th of tank, you're out of gas.
So when we got to that town, because it wasn't much further outside of that town, and yeah, sure as shit, they got out. So when we got back, we find out, hey, we're out of fuel. Like, okay, what the fuck do we do?
We have no fuel tank. We have no. The only 5-gallon gas can we have has 120 in it, and we're not dumping that shit out.
So we're like, all right,
we go to the fucking gas station, and we're going through the fucking trash cans looking for fucking cups to fill up diesel. So I have 2 quick trip cups with diesel in my hand, and we drive back and we're pouring it in.
We got fucking old McDonald's cups, and he's got like a fucking Mountain Dew bottle, and we're just putting as much diesel as we can. And yeah, we get there, and you're trying to fucking pour it in there.
Every last drop.
Fucking truck fires up, and it's like, just follow us. Like, we didn't even know where the gas station was besides GPS. So like, you better fucking follow us.
Yeah.
And they're following us, and as we're getting on that last road, all of a sudden I notice the headlights are just fading behind me. And I'm like, oh fuck, dude, I think they ran out of gas.
Yeah.
And there's like a little bit of a hill, and then it slopes like this, and sure as shit, like, the headlights disappear for a little bit, and then it comes up and over the hill, and it's coming down, and we're already standing outside at the pump, and we're like, I think that motherfucker's out of gas, because we don't hear shit. And yeah, sure as shit, they're like coming into the fucking parking lot, and we get them up to the fucking pump. They're like, we ran out like halfway down this fucking road. We've been coasting the whole way. So it was just by the ass hair of fucking time.
And the lucky thing is, some reason we didn't have to fucking prime the system. It just had enough in the engine where it fired right back up.
Yeah, it worked.
Because usually fucking diesels, you get air in the fucking line.
Oh, it's a motherfucker.
Yeah, it's a motherfucker to purge it. But no, it was a fucking clusterfuck. We didn't get home till like 7 in the morning.
Oh, it was fun.
And then it starts pouring its fucking ass off, and I felt like shit. I'm throwing up. It's rough.
Yeah, it was quite a rough.
Some fucking roller dogs, bro.
Oh yeah, dude. It was fucking wild for sure. But yeah, I mean, it's just ironic how that shit played out. Like,
yeah, fake $100 bill. Blew out a tire, ran out of fuel.
Blew out your ass.
Blowing out transmission.
Yeah, blew the transmission out.
Blowing out 406.
blew a tranny.
We had that motherfucker rebuilt. We had that thing rebuilt in a week.
Rebuilt in a week.
Well, so the funny thing was, we thought we blew it up, so then we can get home, and I drive around, and it's fine. So then we go to Topeka. I put it on the dyno at, they did the streetcar
Just
takeover.
boil the oil, or the,
I guess.
fluid in it or something.
The fluid.
Fluid.
So we go to Topeka, and I'm on the dyno. I think I made like LSX Killer was up there with the dyno at Streetcar Takeover. Made like 600, so then I'll make a pass. The first pass I didn't leave on bottle because I had to test and tune in between the classes. So then I'd make another pass, and I left on bottle, and sure as fuck broke the output shaft right in fucking half, right on the line. They had to tow me to the pit, and they hooked up to my radiator support, bent the fuck out of my radiator support. The tech guys.
Fucking cotton swab.
And then Mo had to come hook me with Dora because the golf cart wouldn't pull me because it was so fucking jammed up. Yeah, it was a cluster. So then we had it rebuilt in like 4
It was great.
days.
It's like I can't imagine like what they seen under there and was like, this little bitty tube that's holding the radiator, that'll do.
Let's hook to that.
Good, because I mean it was
And
just,
it was just like ink.
all the way to the fucking forward.
Uh,
It was like, God damn it, guys.
Fucking cars, man.
son of a butts.
Sometimes it be like that.
It really
I'm
did.
pretty happy with my 400 though. I'm not going back.
That 400 life, you can't
Yeah.
go wrong there, bud.
Yeah.
But I didn't have the best cooler. Blah blah blah. But
For what the
the
4L60?
yeah.
There's little
Yeah.
tips
It
and
gets so
tricks.
hot. Like I'd be driving it during the summer, it'd be 100 degrees. My fucking right leg was on fire. Just the heat coming through the floor.
My leg is on fire.
It was so bad. God,
Fucking cooking that bitch.
dude, there's that kid that. Well, he's not a kid, but that guy that races that Z06 C5. It's got a 4L60 in it with a trans brake and shit. Corvette.
Who's that?
Nick Fernard.
Oh, C6.
Oh.
C6. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Nick
Nick. That
Ferrari.
dark blue.
Ferrari.
That dark blue C. The Ferrari.
It's pretty quick. It's really quick.
It
Yeah, but
holds.
That still got a 60 in it?
Yeah, I think it has like the. I don't know about that, but
He told me
according
it
to
has a
him,
60 in it.
Yeah, I know it has it had the record for stock bottom end Z06 record for a long time.
Did it?
That's
And
titties.
maybe still
He
does.
won that in a raffle. The car.
The waffle?
Really?
Yeah, he won that car in a raffle.
Waffle.
I had no idea.
It's a waffle car?
Apparently, Brady needs to win a raffle motor too.
I need to win something.
No shit.
I'm not that lucky.
No.
Me
Why don't
either.
I get to win
I'm
something?
not lucky.
Dude, you have a horseshoe shoved so far up your ass.
No shit.
Yeah.
He really does.
Think about it. Like every aspect of this wild ass life he lives.
It's a horseshoe hanging out of his butthole.
Hey, can't help it, man.
Slapbox racing, and it's fucking worked since day one. Every fucking thing you've ever done.
It just works, man.
It just works, man.
I don't know how to explain it.
I can't explain it. It just works.
It's that heart.
He's got miles and
Miles.
Oh God, it's good stuff. I really am like like thinking about my car and shit. I can't. The guys that do all the Lexan and like the windows and the fiberglass and the whole one-piece front ends.
You want to
The
know?
guys
who-
that make it look like really good, like props to you. I didn't realize how hard that shit is.
You want to know who's a fucking wizard at that shit? Wizard?
You, Brady.
No, fucking Blake Housley, dude.
Yeah.
That if you watch that guy work, it is insane.
I hate fucking body work.
It's tedious. It's
goes-
tedious.
He goes,
That's why my car's at his house.
Well, fuck, like, yeah.
Did you lotion up before the podcast?
Tried to.
A little bit.
No.
You see the things.
I probably look ashy. What do you mean?
You see the
Talk
hands.
about your hands because the body work.
Oh, yeah. My
Yeah,
hands
them
actually
mugs are ashy.
don't look so. What? Yeah.
he goes,
Ashy Larry. No.
Fucking fiberglass, man. That shit fucking.
Oh, dude, it would destroy your hands. I know. I've done
Filler,
body
body-
work.
yeah, body
It's
filler.
fucking horrible.
Yeah, it's
Not for me.
hey, you want to know how to get back at some people that piss you off? Just go to their place of work and rub fiberglass all over the toilet paper.
Oh,
Fiberglass insulation.
dude.
Catch fucking
That's-
Dude, that's
fire,
my
boy.
fucking pet peeve at work. Like a lot of times
Fiberglass in your toilet paper?
Yeah.
That's not John Wayne paper.
Stripping insulation off pipe and shit.
Oh, yeah.
You get so fucking itchy.
That's
I
that
hate
John
it.
Wayne paper, man. It's rough and tough and don't take shit off nobody.
That's no
I just
shit.
use pine cones.
No shit.
Pine cones, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you're a little
It's
fucking.
that pipe fitter life.
Do you ever watch? There was this show called like there's people that
Nope.
like pinch pennies. Like they try to save money in every aspect of their life. It was a TV show. It was like one of those HGTV whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And this lady fucking they had washcloths. That's like what they wipe their ass with, and she would wash them. Like instead of buying toilet paper, they would have washcloths.
Well, since we're on the subject, you ever see the Hoarders episode where the lady fucking saved all her shit?
Oh yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah.
She had this fucking like rotten piece of fucking bread on the counter, and they're like, "We're gonna have to throw this out." And she's like, "No, I'll just take that mold off of that." And they're like, "No, you need to get rid of that." And she's like, "Why do you people care? I've been eating shit for 20 years."
I have seen that. That's fucking hilarious.
It's like
I don't know how
dodgeball.
like you would even like to be the people that go and clean up that house. Like you got to
They demoed it.
hard. Yeah, I fucking demoed
Yeah.
it.
Demoed it, dude.
Yeah, I would too. Fuck that.
Yeah, I ain't cleaning that motherfucker.
She was doing what in there? No, we fucking bulldozing this.
That's
Bulldozer.
something not for me. Is like, I know they're like. There's a lot of people that do like washable diapers. No, dude.
Yeah,
The
but-
amount of your kid shits. I mean, oh,
Tell us, Daddy.
fuck.
Yeah.
Dude, it'd be disgusting. I'm not. You're not putting that in the washer.
No,
you know?
you have to power wash that shit.
Dude, you
wash
just
it
run
out
like
and-
3 or 4 of them on a solo run.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
it's.
saying?
Oh, dude, it'd be fucking disgusting.
Solo run. Put
Yeah,
that shit
no.
on heavy
Not for me. No.
satiation.
Cold wash. You don't want to do the hot.
Yeah.
Right.
Get that shit cooking.
It's a heavy
I
satiation.
couldn't do it. That's what that would be like.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
the same thing. Yeah, I
Yeah.
just don't
There's a lot of
understand.
people that do that because they try to save money, and you would save a lot of money technically, but it's
I'll
just not
use some
something
old
I'm.
shitty fucking microfibers.
What do you think they did back in the day? You know, like
That.
you think that?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
just
And
like-
I think
they just held the baby outside. Take a shit, son.
I think probably
Just squeeze it and be like,
it would
This
it would
one feels
lead
like
to
he's
you.
about ready.
It would probably. I think it'd probably lead to you like really working on potty training your kid quicker and shit.
Yeah,
like it probably would like help, but it's just something I'm not. Changing diapers are nasty enough, gross enough. Then you got to, and it's nice to be able to just fold it up, put it in a bag, throw it in the trash, get it out of the house.
throw it on your
Instead
neck.
of now, I just got done wiping all this shit off of the child. Now I got to deal with this fucking fabric that we're choosing to reuse.
Yeah.
And then you got to like fucking, what do you wash it in the sink and put it down the garbage disposal or something before you throw it in the
Yeah,
wash?
you got a sewage grinder.
No, you got to fucking
Take it outside.
No, you get a concrete mixer. You throw it in the concrete mixer. and You put water. in it.
Dude,
This dude's trying to make fucking shit clam chowder over there.
It's fucking God.
What are you going to do with the fucking concrete mixer when it's full of
You
shit?
throw concrete in it and you make shit concrete. You know what I'm saying? Makes that shit harder.
Honey, can you help me roll this out to the end of the street?
Shit,
Pour it out in the street.
God. Saving money like them street racers, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, you
Hey,
got
man, tires are expensive.
I've been washing shitty diapers.
bottles. Gotta afford that nitrous.
Nitrous. That's right, baby.
well, shit. It's like the I was watching. So like I don't know if you guys watched the
Nope.
new episodes of Fastest in America.
You can do that now.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't.
I do it all the time.
Yeah, the
Fastest in America since you jackasses are talking over there. What's the
You talking
topic?
about the Netflix show? That shit's rigged, man. Fuck.
just the amount of tires those guys brought with them was like 10 pairs of tires or some shit.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's a cool
like $5
concept. Like the show was a cool concept, and there were certain cars that were like.
Well, it's different this year than it was the years before.
Oh, okay. Well, because I remember watching when, like, was it Beer Money? Beer Money, the Fbody? Like, that was legit, you know? But,
Wow.
like, then some of the cars in there was, like, a fucking lawyer with his Lamborghini, you know? Like, I get it to make it appeal to everybody, but it's like...
So this year they did, instead of like California's going to race Memphis as a team, and then if Memphis loses, they're done.
So are they still doing, like, you just pull up and 1, 2, 3 go, or do you, like, kind of get a
they're doing-
I think
burnout?
you're
or-
talking about a different show.
Yeah, I don't know.
Me?
What,
Yeah.
I thought it was Fastest in America on Netflix.
No.
Was that fastest car?
No, we're not.
Fastest car.
No,
Hell,
we're
fuck
not.
it, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
No.
It's fast.
Fastest
Yeah,
in
there was
America.
cars in it.
Yeah, no, I know.
Or
what
are
you're
we talking about America's list? No, I'm joking.
Oh God, yeah,
Confuse us
America.
all.
No,
Stop
no.
it.
So they did 28s. No, this is no big tires. There's no big
This
tires.
is like a street. Like, this is legit.
This is JJ the Boss.
Oh,
fucking
okay,
Street
okay,
Outlaws
okay.
Discovery Channel shit.
Okay.
Fox body.
I thought you were
I
talking
love
about
JJ.
that.
No,
Boss.
no, not the Netflix show.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Netflix shit, man.
No. So
JJ is single-handedly lowering the Chevy 2 population in the United States of America.
That is a true fact.
One car at a time, baby.
You ever
Probably-
seen like
got a
footage
lot of
of his place?
Bitch
It's
gets
fucking
it.
wild.
Okay.
They got horses. And
Here,
shit.
this is a fucking great subject point. So I started watching Street Outlaws Endgame with my dad,
Yeah.
and why in the world I laughed so hard? Why did they try to like make it look like JJ like just used the same motor? Man, these heads are still good. They're great. Man, these heads are still good. There's nothing wrong with them. They're fucking iron heads. And then they show like all this
They
orange
spray painted the
overspray.
fucking-
And then the next thing is this fucking like badass small block with a 4500 like fogger badass intake. And they're
It's
like,
not the same motor.
like it had all. There ain't nothing wrong with these pistons and rods. They're just stock factory. And I'm like,
Ashtrays.
yeah. And I'm
and they
like,
put like a 600 shot on it or some
and
stupid.
it's like smoke and everything. But I'm like, why did they have to lie? You know what I mean? Like,
I think it's
they-
all for
sound
the
fucking
show.
Oh my
Dude,
god!
they spray. They legit. You could see them. They spray painted like the whole fucking shit.
Yeah.
They didn't tape off like the water jacket.
I think Axeman would have killed everybody with that little. That thing was the
That coupe.
coolest car.
Did he
Was that
blow it
little?
up though?
Yeah, he did. But I mean, it
None of
was
them- I feel
beating
like-
everybody. It's just a little 347 small block Ford with
Pro-charge.
like a Pro Charger on
Yeah,
it,
it's a 305
and it was like
double
a
O pitch.
305 coming
It was like
out.
a 30. What is that?
like
30.
a coupe, like a 32.
Bonnie and Clyde coupe
Yeah,
is what it
yeah.
basically is, and
It was
that's
bitchin'.
Oh, dude, it's cool. And his outlook was like, when I think of Street Outlaws and Outlaws, I'm thinking of Bonnie and Clyde. And
Yeah.
this is the reason
No,
I
it
want
was
to
a
build
good
that, and it was fucking cool. See all this rust underneath here? That car was solid as fuck. I was like,
Yeah.
it was not. That is like
For
surface
that
rust.
car being that old, it was fucking pristine.
Yeah, it was awesome, but it's still a really wacky platform to
No one- yeah,
start
no one-
off
no
of
one does
versus.
It looks goofy as fuck hauling ass.
Yeah, man, but it was cool.
You ever
Oh,
seen
yeah.
like 3030 out of New York?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are
That
cool.
is- That's
that.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that car was
so
bitchin'.
that was the one question for me is I don't know what happened to Axeman's not in the new Fastest in America. I know he's got his logging business and shit.
Yeah, he's probably just. I mean, there's fucking 1,500 TV shows. He's probably just not going to be on
There's
it,
no-
but
like,
he's
well,
going to be
like
on.
watching Murder Nova shit. There's like for him to do all the shows, there's no time for anything else, really.
Well, fuck, you get a YouTube
I mean,
channel.
you got MPK coming around too.
Yeah, that too.
I know. I think Axeman was on MPK last
Yeah,
year.
I like X-Men.
I do too.
I think I got to know. I feel like you get to know him a little bit more on that one because they had like a 2-hour special on like every
Yeah.
one of the cars, and you get to kind of see about it.
And I'm not a
and
big
stuff.
Murder Nova fan, but his that fucking donk is a bad movie.
It was cool.
It's fun,
Yeah.
dude.
I just
Go to
love how
Donk
it's
all day, man.
pretty much like they try to keep everything. Like same thing with Ryan Martin. Their cars were daily drivers.
I
100%.
think a lot of those guys built the cars that they always wanted to do,
Yeah.
but just
Yeah.
didn't have a reason.
Use the excuse.
Yeah.
Well, JJ built
Well, it's
what he
a
always built.
great reason to have a tax write-off on something you've always wanted to build.
Yeah.
I'm sure the way they do their taxes, they could use that as a
Yeah.
tax write-off in some way or fashion because it's towards their business, and to be able to do the show. And what a
Right,
great
yeah.
reason to do that, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think, and I do like how Murder Nova like their dad does the body work.
yeah,
They
that
paint
is
the
cool.
car.
That is cool.
You know, they're not taking it to some shop and having it done. No, his dad does it, and which
Yeah.
I think is freaking legit.
That
and
is legit.
His son helps, and
Yeah, because I mean, that kind of money you could pay the best of the best too.
oh yeah, and you could have anyone do it in 2 weeks. You know, like his the OG Nova, the chassis was done in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, the problem with that too is they're going to tear those cars up. I don't care
Yeah.
how careful they are. They're at one point and another, they're going to be hard on them
Yeah.
using them
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
in the environment those cars are exposed to.
Yeah. How long do you think that stuff's for those guys is gonna last? You think this is
One
be,
tire shake and the fucking paint's going to rattle off the quarter panels. I don't care who you are.
You think this MPK, the getting paid
Like
to
the
race
Bond
thing is gonna last for Another 10
Boycotting
years.
style.
MPK, you think
like MPK, Street Outlaws, the fastest in America?
You just
think
mean the
they're-
show and them
in
as a
general, like not
Yeah.
just like say
another
well,
10 another 10
the
years?
whole legit deal, JJ and all of them,
Maybe. I don't know.
as long as they keep getting views.
5 years fucking goes by real quick. Now I
Well,
look
when,
at
when
it.
was the first episode of Street
It's like
Street Outlaws
13 years
released?
ago,
Yeah, that
13 seasons or 14 seasons. Or
it was a
some
long
shit.
fucking time ago.
Doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like it was that long ago.
No, I'm looking at Brady underneath your beard.
I do.
Yeah, because I know that they did the small tire. The Oklahoma show was all small tire, and they brought teams from all over Texas and Oklahoma and stuff.
Yeah, I'll have to watch that. But
There's too many fucking shows to keep up.
Oh,
with.
it's
Dude,
fucking
and that's what I was saying. That just to bring it full circle. It's like, how can you keep? I would only do like a handful of them.
Well, yeah,
The rest
because
of
Mega
them's,
Cast Day still hasn't came out yet,
Yeah. So, but
and I'm curious how that went.
yeah, we'll see how that goes. We'll
But
definitely have to
I know
cover
I
that.
heard that if you didn't have a Hemi Pro Charger, you didn't win it.
Yeah. Well.
Gotta
But
love that Hemi.
I think I've been watching. Our last podcast came out obviously yesterday, episode 9 of us three. It did pretty good. It had a couple hundred views right away. We've been starting to post some shorts finally, some clips. So we're.
Hi.
I know Brett's walking off here. We'll have to.
There's a street racer in him.
What a guy.
Little guy.
What
Little man.
a hoot.
What a guy.
That guy is an absolute hoot.
He's got heart. Oh. No, so anyway, but no, we've been working on clips. So we got YouTube shorts, we got I post some clips on Facebook. I've been working on Instagram, but I don't know what's going on with that. I created an account and it instantly banned me.
Really?
Like it instantly banned us right away. So I don't know.
So what are you like putting videos on there?
No, I didn't even post a
Wasn't
video.
even
I just
allowed?
literally created the account. The second I created the account, it banned it.
You guys
So
got like your swimsuit
I don't know.
pictures up there? Or?
no, we're working on shorts. So just clips from the podcast, stuff like that. So that way it's a little bit more shareable,
Right.
and then they can share. That's one thing I'd ask for viewers is if you guys see the clips, you like them, share them. It helps distribute that, and get our name out
yeah.
there. Yeah. So working on that, but I think again, appreciate everybody watching. Everybody keep sharing, getting it out there. It's growing, every single day. So we really, really appreciate that.
Yes.
So anyway, will you say we wrap this thing up and see you guys next week?
do
Thank
it,
you,
man.
Cody, for being on.
Yeah.
Appreciate you being back. It won't be the
Thank
last
you.
time. I'm sure we'll
you.
be having you at some
Good
point
talks.
again, for sure.
Stories, baby.
For sure, you got to get your car back or get it finally all the way complete, and we'll get a
It'll be a summer deal for sure.
we'll get a good burnout video, just like Ben's, to wrap it all in.
Don't tease me with them videos, boy.
Yeah, so
That's a hell of a follow-up burnout. I mean,
Yeah.
he'd set the bar pretty high.
yeah, he did. So we'll have to see,
He
but
even slang his belt.
No shit.
He
Yeah.
found it the next day. He sent me a video. He's like, "By God."
it was singing. Let me
Yeah,
tell you,
yeah.
brakes were fucking red
Oh,
hot
God.
instantly.
He's
so,
like, "Oh, I had brakes."
yeah,
That's the first time he's had rear brakes in a hot minute.
yeah. Had to break them in just right. So,
Oh, yeah.
That's fine.
but
Track
anyway,
rotor will be all right.
yep. Anyway, guys, that's it for episode 10. We'll see you next week. If you ain't subscribing,
You ain't vibe.
we'll see ya.